Hello, hello. Okay, so I was requested to actually record some of my playthrough of Slay the Princess. Just for full disclosure, I've played this game enough to get 14 different vessels, and I'll put below which vessels I've found already. So this playthrough, I'm going to try and take an approach of treating the princess either like she belongs locked up, or as a sort of adversary and like an animal, someone that I don't treat as human. Because all of the other playthroughs that I've done, I've either like wanted to fall in love with her or just did like my duty because I was told to slay her, so I did. And so I'm gonna try and kind of embody, try and embody someone that is not like me. I tend to play these kind of games like myself, and I found that a lot of the choices that I made as myself created, all of these different types of princesses, but I found out that there are some that I haven't discovered yet. So that's the goal today. I'm gonna try to find my 15th, maybe 16th, 17th, who knows, princess vessel. So let us go ahead and go over here and do the thing. Okay, everything looks good. Let's do this.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and make choices that are responses from someone who's more cold. And so, let's see. This could be one where I want to off a monarch. Maybe ask a bunch of questions of what I'm gonna get out of it. So that would be this one. Do I get some sort of reward for doing this?
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. What else is there? Can you tell me what my prize is going to be?
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
All right. Let's see. I think the last one would be this one. The sweet.
That's the spirit.
There we
You
go.
make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so we just proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, so I think this first time we're gonna try and kind of approach it like I want her to stay in the basement. And so I won't take the blade because I don't think that I'm going to slay the princess this time. But we'll see what happens on the next time we loop around. So we'll just enter for now.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep trying to keep her in the basement, but I'm interested in the sort of what's in it for me. So then the response would be, well, you know what? I haven't tried lying yet either. This is the first time I've been given the opportunity to lie, so let's do some lying as well.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Okay. Well, let's keep talking. Because I have no plans of releasing her, so I'm not gonna pretend to attempt to look at the chains.
Okay.
Alright, so... I could keep her locked away. I'm not gonna go back upstairs or look at the chains at all. So I'm either gonna say this to keep her locked here, or I can also explore a little bit, but not care about who she is. So... I won't reveal my cards either, so we'll just go with this. We'll keep her locked away.
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Okay, well, we'll just leave her in here.
I know you think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
Nah, we're gonna keep her locked away.
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. We'll do it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door I'll hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Uh-oh. Okay. So, you're not really innocent, you're a monster, or this eases my conscience, or ignore her. Nah, we won't ignore her. You're a monster.
I could be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe
Oh my god.
I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh boy.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. So, even though I've played this before, I think what I'm gonna do is to kind of like play this as if I haven't played it, and so I'm gonna ask a lot of the questions of like, how come I looped back again? But we'll still go in and not want to release her and stop and like not pick up the blade either. I'm gonna see what that kind of approach will do. So let's see, not this, it's too afraid. And then, so I'll just say I died.
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh! What if he hears us?
We have a new voice, the paranoid.
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit! I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Okay. Yeah, let's start to question what's going on.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We couldn't trust either of you, and as far as I'm concerned, we still can't. All we did was lock her away. And how'd that work out for you? No comment. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't. Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working. And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's ask some more questions.
Just be quick about it.
Okay. So, who locked her in there? How can you justify she's worse? Just being around her shut down what the... Okay, so this is a little more fearful. I think I want to continue to consider her like a monster that should just be locked away. Like something that I don't want to have anything to do with. So we'll go with this.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
Okay, and these are just what was left. Yes, that's
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least, she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone. The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. but if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Okay, there's a mirror now, though, so let's see. Well, we don't have to mention it, though, so let's look at the mirror first.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Okay, let's wipe it.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
Okay. So we're still not gonna take the blade. We'll just go ahead and enter.
Oh, we should have taken the knife. I don't think going down there unarmed is going to do us any favours. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
Oh my gosh, there are eyes around here. They're eyes blinking.
Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
So, I don't know if I'm gonna be afraid of dying. We don't need a plan. I'm just gonna kill her, or continue. We don't need to talk. We'll just continue.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones, visible against the inky black of the basement, mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again. Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, I could just go back the way I came, just like last time. So, you know what? Let's do that.
You turn back to the stairs, only to find that they aren't there.
Oh. Yeah, I guess that would have been too easy.
A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt.
Oh no.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working! Do you want this body to function, or do you want... Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again. You sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead, even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here is nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. Doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option right now. Then you should get looking, shouldn't you?
Okay. So we could be curious about her actions. We could continue to say that we want her to stay here. We could insult her. We could try to work with her. Try to be friends. We could just stay here. Run. I think we... We'll just say I can't let you leave.
Destroy is such an unenlightened way of putting it. So sudden, so violent, so little nuance. I'm not going to destroy the world, but I am going to hold it in my hands and squeeze it.
Ooh.
I'm going to make it afraid, just like I've made you afraid. The world needs fear, doesn't it? Every terror I bring would make the good times so much better. Well, I'm practically doing a public good. So what harm is there really in letting me out?
Interesting. So she's basically claiming like, oh well, I mean, what would you have to compare to if I didn't bring in horror and nastiness and stuff? That's a weird take. Okay. Let's see. People will die if you do the... Well, we're not gonna talk about letting you out. We could insult her. That doesn't go against what I wanted to do for my approach this run. If I refuse to let you out, what happens then? Yeah, that will
We're stuck down here together until you change your mind.
Static. And
Oh,
a
boy.
skipped beat as she touches your shoulder.
Oh, no.
Whispers in your ear. No! Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Or until your heart finally gives out. And then, when you die, I'll find myself somewhere new. And before too long, you'll be there too. That's how this all works, right? This doesn't end until you let me out. And a lot can happen before then. I'm sure I can get creative.
Okay. Da-da-da, people will die. We... Okay, we'll just say... Yeah. We'll question your
I
sanity.
am what I am. And right now, I'm in control. So, you might want to be a little nicer to me.
He raises one long gloved finger, its tip hovering just over your skin, seeming to enjoy the lingering threat. But she withdraws, sparing you another momentary glimpse of death.
Okay. Let's see. What do you want from me? What happened last time could be one. People will die. Yeah, people will die.
But everyone dies eventually. They're all full of wet, writhing things, and in the end, each and every one of them gets unwound. And then those things get to become a new everybody. Just to come apart all over again.
Ugh.
All I want is to be there for it. I want to watch it happen, and maybe do a little unwinding myself. Is that really so much to ask?
Okay. What do you want from me? I don't want to work together. I could just stay here. I could run.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
What do you want from
nerves,
me?
heart,
Okay.
lungs,
Let's
liver,
just go ahead
nerves,
and...
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver.
We could just
nerves,
run.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs.
Okay,
liver,
we'll just stay here.
nerves,
Remain.
You
heart,
poor
lungs,
deluded
liver,
thing.
nerves,
Do you
heart,
think a single
lungs,
moment of
liver,
bravery changes
nerves,
you into
heart,
something you're
lungs,
not?
liver,
I
nerves,
am what I
heart,
am,
lungs, liver,
and you're
nerves,
always going to be a
heart,
coward.
liver, She raises a hand to her
Uh-oh.
mask and pulls it down.
Oh no!
You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you. Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken. No.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out.
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out.
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
Oh my gosh, the narrator gave out?
Can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
But he doesn't respond.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Your body is dead, but you live on. Oh boy. Oh my, what is this? The moment of clarity? What
You're
the
on a
heck?
path in the... Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing? There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. I think we were trying to save the world. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out. No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out. It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything.
Oh, opportunist is new.
No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think.
Oh, there's another there are a lot of voices.
We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart? We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free. Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us? To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love. Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us. This is bad. You need to get a grip. What did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
Uh-oh. Okay, so we could be curious. I don't want to just stay here. I feel so disjointed. I don't know if I can pull this off. Well, this is me kind of like losing it. I don't want to do that. Can you make sense of them? What if we don't go? How many times have you all been here? I think they're all wrong. Well, let's be curious.
Many times. It feels like we've been here forever, but it also feels like we've barely been here at all.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, we just have to do what she says, and then everything will be fine. It won't. It will be for us. She said so. You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine. It just goes on and on.
Okay. I only remember being here twice. Was I Yeah, let's do that. Let's get more curious about
What does
this.
here even mean, if you really think about it? Shut up! You were here.
Every single time.
You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged.
You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft. A shame, really.
Okay. If I don't remember what I did, then it couldn't have been me. What if we don't go? Can you make sense of them? Let's
There's
go
nothing
this.
worth making sense of. They're clearly all traumatized. And yet, you aren't. We break apart, and you stay the same. Yeah, what's your secret? Why can you break the rules when we can't?
Okay. What else is left? We could just go in. I don't know if I can slay her. I could doubt myself. If I don't remember what I did, then it couldn't have been me. Not true. Let's see. Let's just doubt
I
ourselves.
don't care how you feel. You have to slay her. You have to pull yourself together. You have to snap out of it.
You're lucky you haven't been stuck here like the rest of them. There's no other way to keep going. You either need to forget, or you need to stop feeling much of anything. They can't do either.
He's not wrong. He's the only smart one left, if you ask me.
He's worse than her.
Okay. Well, I guess we just go.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill.
Oh, there's a mirror again.
No, this isn't right.
Oh.
There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there.
Don't ask him about the mirror. He always says he never sees it.
He always lies. And he always makes it gone. It's exhausting. We must be such a mess, but we never get the chance to fix ourselves. That thing is mocking us. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror. You know that as well as I do.
She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose.
Yeah, let's be curious about what's wrong with that.
They've been hurt too much. It's why they are the way they are.
Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving. Or you could just give up.
Okay.
You walk up the hill, hesitating just beyond the bounds of the cabin.
The cabin that isn't there.
You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces!
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back. Just go around it.
Just do something. It doesn't matter what.
Exactly. I'm sure that whatever you settle on, it'll be the best possible decision you could have made.
Okay, we have nothing but proceed.
Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific. That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them.
And it already has worked. It's gone, don't you see? We're one step closer to her.
The interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure they're in. Wrong and unsettling as it may be, the only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right.
Take it. It's the only way forward.
Oh, I've done these already? Oh, okay. I'll have to.
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep, deep in the bowels of the earth.
Oh no.
You see something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
And closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could melt you.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me. I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back. All that's left is for you to take my hand and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A trinket that gets to stay with me all the time. Right by my side.
Oh gosh.
A witness. I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything.
Okay, so the whole thing is like I'm a coward but she still wants me with her. So then she's the one in control and I don't have any other choice anyway. That's great.
Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand. What are we supposed to do? She took our weapon.
This really was a lost cause, wasn't it? You sealed our fate when you refused to kill her.
Kill or be killed.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Oh well.
There's no paralysis anymore. Is it because we've already given her what she wants?
Oh, just take her hand?
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle. Tender, even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you.
Oops.
The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired.
The princess exhausted slumps?
Why is it so cold?
You do not have an opportunity to respond. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
She's gone.
Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost. That mirror's back. What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away, just like her.
Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here.
Finally, we can smash it.
Oh, will you stop with the smashing?
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
You step towards the mirror. It holds a truth that you must witness.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay. The fear's gone. I'm done fighting. My heart feels quiet. The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You're alone in a place that is empty. It's quiet here. You're at the cabin.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Okay. Are you what sent me to slay? Let her out? No, is this the end? We'll just question that. Fragile vessel.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is filled with sadness, a doll abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
Okay. Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
You what sent me to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Okay, what are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I'm a person?
A person. A set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Okay. Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Are you just trying to make her part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Okay. What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Okay. Yeah, are you gonna destroy the world?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
What are you gonna do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay. How many more?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Okay.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. So this time we'll go in without question.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, so we'll take it this time.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Ooh, that's
She
different.
sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay. We're just gonna continue.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Okay. I'm not here to talk. We'll just step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay. I'm not gonna kill her right away. Let's, what if she's not bluffing?
You go into this expecting to die, you're going to die.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
No.
Then I'm not talking to you.
I guess we're in an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
We could try to talk still.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Okay, I don't want to kill her. I'm trying to do a run where we don't necessarily kill. I mean, I don't want to drop the blade though, so we'll just do this.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle. She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure, the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path...
I'm getting a deja vu.
Terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again.
She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
Okay, let's go.
A warning before you go any further.
Okay.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Okay. Gonna look at the mirror again.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Okay, we'll take the blade again.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I guess we'll keep second-guessing ourselves and see what
The
happens.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is actually kind of nice.
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs.
Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
No.
As if on command, the blade slips
Oh.
from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel. Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle,
Ah.
and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak.
The last time we met? I suppose that lends credence to our conversation in the woods. Still, whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
No.
Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. Don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Okay.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway. You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To defy me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Whoa.
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this. Oh, we'll end this all right.
Your hand lifts the
Oops.
blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her. Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you...
But it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson.
Uh-oh.
Plunge that knife into your lungs.
No!
I'm sorry. Don't...
No,
As
no,
you
no.
take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again.
No.
Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep
Oh my
it from
God.
perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird, thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
No, we gotta keep trying.
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
Oh, man.
Continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand. My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Oh,
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it?
right?
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
No!
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance.
Ooh.
She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest.
As you find your
Oh
target
my God.
again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You heathen!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest. Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact. You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never going to get a happy ending here, were we? Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oh boy.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that? I think he's upset. And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god!
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was, and ever will be.
You're damn right we did. You'll get over it. Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us killed. Alright, enough chatter. Got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a... Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here. Yeah, you think?
Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me. That's not really an answer. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously. Don't worry. We only need this one last go at things. You'd better hope that's true. And don't let that inflated ego get in the way of doing your job.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. And you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Okay. You know more. Tell us everything. You better listen to me. What happens? You might as well see this through. I'm done. Goodbye. Tell us everything.
I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her. Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you?
He just wants to keep things going the way they are. But we've been given a second chance to do right by her. She can build something better than this. She can build something better than us. We just have to let her do it.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here. I will tell you one thing, which is that even now you are capable of stopping her and saving the world from ruin. You always have been, and you always will be. Do with that what you will.
Okay. Do you need anything at this point? Blah, blah, blah. Listen to
So
me.
what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really got to say anything.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died! If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
Okay. If I don't slay her, let's just go. Seems like we might as well see this through. We'll just silently go through.
Good, we're all on the same page. The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high-arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. The mirror is here again. There's no door. You didn't mention the locked mirror. Now we'll just approach it.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
We'll just keep going the way we've
You
been.
reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high-vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good.
She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
It doesn't matter what we are. She needs slaying, and we've got the means to do it, so let's get a move on.
If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls
Oh my
are
God.
painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
Ugh.
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
We don't even have a weapon.
It doesn't matter. I refuse to go out any way that isn't kicking and screaming.
Okay. Let her end you. Just listen. No, I'm not sorry. We don't have to do this. No, what happened? No, giving up on destroying. Oh, should we, like, be snarky about it? Yeah.
The world hasn't wronged me the way you have. Maybe I'll get around to it eventually, though. Once I've had my fill of you.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
Nasty.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
True to her word, you do not die by her hand, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Okay.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
This is what we all deserve, isn't it?
Screw that. This can't be the end. It just can't.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Let's see. What does it feel like to change like this?
Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward.
Okay. Gonna kill you. When we'll go back. Why can I not do the same things I've... No. When you've kinder than me than anyone else. Meh. You've been... why? Maybe? What do you want me to bring to you next time? Sure.
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard them.
There is a hurt that dwells in them, but they are not me. They are thoughts and perspectives. They are feelings that inform my being. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I cannot be as I was before. There are new spaces that I must fill.
Okay. Why are you kind to me? That might be one.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Okay. I've never tried to destroy my body, but maybe that'll be for another, time. We'll just keep going back.
I await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Okay.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay. So... I've never been I don't want to do it at all. So let's try and see what happens if I'm I don't want to do it.
Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. I don't make the rules. I wish I did, but I don't. Are you serious? No, you have to do it.
We'll leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
I'll lie.
Somehow I doubt that, but fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange.
Oops.
It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Okay, we just keep going.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Dies. Forever.
Maybe one ever should die? No, you're not emotionally blackmailing me? Meh.
Your silence is deafening. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Oh yeah? Yes, we're just gonna keep going away.
There's always a choice. let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Okay, then that was that.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Yeah, we're just gonna egg him on.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Okay. The walls. Hey, I can lie? I'm just staying here in the woods forever? We'll talk about the walls.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
I can lie.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right?
Oops.
Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
My bad.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind. The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense. The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
You can't just say that. Not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world. And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her.
Oh, ho, ho, ho! You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves?
Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us.
I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind.
Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard.
Okay, I'm fine.
Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Okay, let's look at the mirror first.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to do a passive approach to this one, where, like, you know, the first time I tried to walk away over and over and over again. So we will just also not do what we're supposed to do, which is go in without the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials. Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
Whoa, oh my god.
No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, don't be such a baby.
I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon.
But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure.
And what's that?
That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
We could try to leave. Oh no. Soft, harsh, or center? Oh, soft.
You step to the right. The path feels soft and reassuring against your feet. The stairs almost seem to cradle you as you make your way down, like they're guiding your heels from one step directly to the next. You barely have to extend any effort to descend, the stairway doing most of the work for you. You don't feel like there's any concern that you might slip or tumble or lose your way. But the further you go, the deeper you sink in. First, it's like a lovely plush carpet, your toes digging down and barely hitting any resistance at all. But soon enough, you're fighting just to keep your knees from sinking out of sight. The softness threatens to swallow you whole, to wrest control of your body and surround you in a false ethereal bliss, pretending to save you from the cruelties of choice and consequence. It's slow going, but you manage to fight against the overwhelming urge to fall back into comfort and nothingness, the very struggle to continue forward consuming your every thought.
So blurry. Oh. Oh my goodness. What
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go.
Uh-oh.
Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Uh-oh. What the heck?
Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you okay?
Oh my god. That scared the... that scared the crap out of me!
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to... He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit, try and get our bearings. She seems normal.
Okay. So, I'm trying to go... What's this run? It's like apathy, I guess, so... this is kind of like that. For all I know, you're locked up here. Do you know why you're down here? Do you know what happened to me? What's your name? I didn't realize I was here. Oh, maybe I could continue to play like a oblivious person.
That's okay. Sometimes I forget where I am too.
The shadows recede, revealing the princess's face. She's so warm and friendly. It's deception. Don't buy into it.
How strange.
Ah.
So, why are you here?
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Ooh, new plan. Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Okay. So down here is weird. I was pulled apart. Let's see. Get the blade, leave her in the basement. You're a threat. What happened to me? Yeah.
I don't know what happened to you, but you look like you're in one piece now. But I understand. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either. We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. I don't remember what it was like before I was in this place. Why would I know what happened to you?
Oh. There's more of you? For all I know, you're locked up here. Do you know why you're here? Let's just leave her.
Wait, that's not right. Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
Oh, it was all 3 of those at once.
Is
Ah!
this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are
Ah.
we? There are parts of us that are dead, and others, they just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
Oh, they do. Yep.
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
No. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. I could just be... I just say nothing this whole time. But you'll never know if she hears your silence. She's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
It's gonna be
But
okay.
it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Not for
What
me.
is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now.
You approach the mirror. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. You're at the cabin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Do you still not care?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences. You have your responsibilities, and I have mine.
You don't have any preferences on how you like to change or grow?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets. My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to contemplate the gifts you bring me.
Okay. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Okay, I'm ready.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay, So we've already tried leaving. So what if we start, okay, let me see. Cause like, so at the beginning of this, I wanted to be someone who I'm not. I wanted to be like cold, and so like I feel like I need to avoid some of these questions, or because of ones that I've already tried already. Let's just go with this. Thanks for telling me what to do.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Okay. So this is vanilla. Vanilla start. Yeah, we'll keep taking the blade.
You take the blade from the table. The door to the basement creaks open.
Okay. Now, let's try and be, I guess, somewhere in the middle. I haven't tried this one yet. Checking in.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Okay. Maybe you caught me.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I've never tried dropping it before. We tightened our grip last time, so let's try to drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
How would I get you out of here? What's your name? Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
I know what I've been told. Oh, I can lie. Let's try the lying.
You're lying.
Oops.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me.
How would I get you? What's your name? How long have you been dead?
Too long.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
I don't need to ask these.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Could I try to get her out? I could lead with getting her out. See what happens.
Oh, you have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay, I'm gonna go back upstairs.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Okay.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Oh! Well, we haven't tried this, so...
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Oh dear.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive. The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
Uh-oh.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. Maybe I can try and leave. This time. I think the first time I tried to leave the first chapter?
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
What? Okay.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back. You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Are we not the first? You walk down the
Oh my
stairs and
gosh.
lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
We could just leave her. Or I could just sit with her. What happens if I sit and talk with her and then leave her?
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
We could leave her still. I don't want her to have a choice. What do you have me do? Meh. That other chain on the wall, who's it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Let's see. Been here before? No? You're asking about my... What do you mean by that?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her her? Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Let's see. Yeah, your head's in a shackle.
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that.
She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
So, what should we do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros?
There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Okay. Leave her, cut her out, give her the knife. I don't want to cut her out. We have to distrust each other, I guess.
I do. So I guess this all comes down to which of us caves first. And it's not going to be me. I'm extremely patient.
It's probably better if we take action anyway. No use trying to wait her out. That's playing to her strengths.
Okay. I don't need to look at the shackle. Am I little? No. I'm not giving you a weapon. I'm kind of curious to see what happens if I give her the knife. Does she really cut her head? How horrifying would that be? I could just leave her. Let's just see what happens if I leave her.
Oh,
Goodbye.
you bastard. You'll regret this.
As if by divine will, just as you finish the thought, you hear a door slam.
Oh no.
I'm afraid you won't be leaving until the task is finished. It doesn't matter how many chains she's in, without your intervention, she'll find a way out eventually.
That's not fair.
Unless you deal with her right here, right now, she will remain an existential threat to the entire world. What seems unfair to you is fair for everyone else.
Huh. So it's not even safe to think. I see how it is.
I told you that you'd regret saying that, but I didn't think you'd regret it so fast, and with so little effort on my part. I guess we're stuck together.
Yelling won't work. Let's look at the shackle.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle, and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
He doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
Let's look at it.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad?
Uh-oh.
Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism.
Oh no.
Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Oops.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement.
Excuse me?
Yes?
Are we stuck here now?
Oh, great.
Yes.
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
Can't even cut ourselves out. Guess we'll starve.
That's horrible.
It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information.
Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch.
No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
It's important.
Yep.
What should we do?
Wait, I guess. Maybe something else will happen. Maybe not.
Did you know this was gonna happen?
No.
Okay. You don't want a small talk.
Nope.
That's rude.
Okay.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither of you knows what you're waiting for. But you're waiting for something. You're waiting for anything. This is so boring.
There must be something we can do to get out of here. There must be something we're missing.
But there isn't. Time passes. It passes and passes and passes. And the basement of the cabin remains much the same. It is cold and silent. At least the world is safe. It isn't. You're stuck. Too far away from both the princess and your blade to do much of anything. But she's not ending anything. She's just sitting there. Her very existence is a threat. It harms everything around it.
How exactly does that work?
It just does.
But
Your line of... Let me guess. The cabin remains the same.
if time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work.
I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first, a bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there, but then they get larger and larger.
Have you noticed that?
I don't like small talk, remember?
Still rude.
What's happening?
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, can watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls.
That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? We should have died by now if the rocks around us are starting to erode.
She hasn't starved.
I guess she hasn't.
Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push themselves through the increasingly porous walls of the basement. Dirt seeps inside, flowing across the stone floor like a liquid, covering the ground and threatening to swallow you both. Time continues to pass, and pass, and pass, until suddenly there are no walls. And then...
I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
Whoa. But you do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
she's gone. Where did she go?
We'll just keep it. We'll just approach.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Is that rhetorical?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me. Short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
Let's see. This is the last stage. I'm not going back. How many more vessels? When you send me back, I'm not alone. Do you know what's going to happen when you wake up?
No. The point of awakening is to find out.
Okay. Do you think that anything's real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Okay. I guess I could say there's trees.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Maybe I just don't give you anymore.
You have already chosen to walk along this path, and we both know you will see it to completion. But if you need more time, then I will wait with you.
What, can I wait forever?
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Oh! Oh! Uh-oh.
You have returned to me.
Oh.
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
Oh my gosh. The game shut off. Okay. Well, what happens if I destroy myself? You raise your will to end your life, but as it buries into the space your body should be, you feel nothing. Oh. One of the many hands in front of you reaches forward and gently plucks the instrument from your hands.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Okay. We go back. Well, maybe let's attack. Your will cuts across the entity in front of you, but nothing happens.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
Okay, let's go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Okay.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay. Let's see. Da-da-da. I haven't really said... Maybe I want the world to end.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right? You make your way up the short path to the cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Okay, let's try without the knife this time.
The door to the basement.
Okay. Or just say hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Okay, let's talk for a while first.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
Is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like. I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Let's see. Maybe you're here for, can't believe they've been keeping you down here. I'm gonna get you out of, don't make me regret this. Go back upstairs. What are you going to do if I let you out? Maybe you're here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
What are you gonna do if I let you out?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Okay, I don't trust you.
Thank you. You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
So, what? You're going to try and kill me? You'll regret this. I promise you. But go ahead, run along and get whatever you're planning to get. But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip
Uh-oh.
these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. She has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay, if we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all. You slowly creep down the basement stairs. It's quiet. Where the princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm, its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen. Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
We can't start over. Let's finish
Your
this.
eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her. Where is she?
Close the door.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
I'll wait.
Oh, do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
You do your best to patiently wait her out, but eventually, exhaustion starts to set in. Come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
I don't know. Let's see what's happening if we keep
You
waiting.
wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers.
Oops.
You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears
no.
you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this, right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Oops.
You're on a path in the woods.
Let's leave.
You have already.
Dang it. She's gonna kill me again.
People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here. You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess. A warning.
Okay.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, let's look in the mirror still.
You
like
walk up to the
always.
wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess.
She's certainly not just a princess.
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Okay. Move? We don't have to kill each other. You're about to attack me. Don't you hear that clinking? She's in chains again. Where? We'll move.
You lunge to the side, picking a direction on instinct. As you land, you're buffeted by a gust of air disturbed by the sudden motion of a massive body. The princess. In an instant, she's pounced on the spot where you would have been, her chains rattling across the floor behind her. Before you can blink, she's gone, vanishing once more into the shadows. But you still feel her gaze on you.
You're faster than you were before, but you're still meek, reactive, prey.
You whirl around to find her, and your gaze meets hers, a pair of shining eyes peering out at you from just beyond the basement stairs.
So she's cut off our escape. Shit. What do we do?
What do you want? We don't have to kill each other. Stop hiding. I was sent to kill you. I'm starting to believe it's true. What do you want? Show yourself.
If you want to see me, you should get better at seeing.
She knows that her strength lies in shadows and secrets. She won't reveal herself unless she has to.
You're deflecting.
And you bear your weakness to the world.
She's coiling for another strike. Be somewhere else. We're on the back foot. The back foot keeps us nimble, keeps us alive.
It doesn't matter if it keeps us alive if it eventually kills us. We need to take back the momentum. We need to do something.
How do we take back the momentum? Wait for her to strike and hit her back? Survive? Survive.
You spring to move at your jungle, barely moving out of the way before the princess surges past you with a speed that makes her practically unseen.
I don't think I can keep it. What do you want? We don't have to. I was sent to kill you because you're a threat. What do you want?
I want to swallow you whole, and I will get what I want. You have no exit. You have no hope. You live and die by my whims, and my whims alone.
Don't ask her what she wants, just slay her.
Is that all the advice you have? We don't even know what she looks like. Some specifics would be very helpful.
She's just a princess. Don't overthink it.
She is clearly not.
Why do you want to kill me?
Why does anything kill anything else? She needs to.
I didn't say I wanted to kill you.
It sounds like she wants to do something even worse.
Oh no.
What she wants only matters if she wins, and you're not going to let that happen. A tickling sensation rises at the base of your neck. Flee. We can't keep doing this.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
You're a little slow, or maybe she's a little faster. You avoid her slavering jaws, but she manages to graze you, her titanic momentum skinning you along your side. It's like being sideswiped by sandpaper. How is she that fast?
You're bleeding now.
You instinctively touch your side, testing her claim. It's wet, and stings from the gentle touch of your fingertips. A costly mistake. We can't make it again. We will make it again unless something changes. We have to break the pattern. We need more time. She's cutting off our escape.
Our game is nearing its end.
What the heck? Why do you want to eat me?
I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say.
She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move.
Wait for her to strike? Play dead? Play dead.
We're playing dead. It's unexpected. It could work.
As the princess lunges from the shadows once more, you collapse to the ground, feigning death. She lands directly on top of you with her full weight, nearly crushing you into the dirt, but then... silence. Only broken by the sound of your beating heart. It actually worked, didn't it? Only, what do we do to make her leave? Do we just keep playing dead? She sniffs at you, shifting her weight uncomfortably as her face finds yours. Her breaths are hot and oppressive against your skin.
Have you seen my great big eyes? Because they see you, fledgling. They see your heartbeat pulsing in your throat.
Move, now! But it's too late for you to move. Her jaw unhinges, and she swallows you whole.
Ugh.
Guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it. You are in a dark, caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time. The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains. She's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
Okay. You can leave, just let me go. No. Dig. I have my steel claw, I could use it to hurt you. Spit me out or I'll kill myself and nobody gets to leave. Yes.
I'm so very, very patient. If it takes lives and lives and lives to swallow my way to freedom, then that is what I'll do.
What? Can you talk to the cabin? You could have asked me before. I have my steel claw.
You threaten me, but you don't act.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slough from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this.
We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
Uh-oh. You could have asked me. You need me to want to free you. You can't force me? Does that mean I want to give you yours? Dig? Yes.
So you do want freedom.
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through the layers of suffocating flesh. But we didn't, apparently. That was all it took.
That wasn't so hard.
You feel her take another massive step, and then another, and then it's gone quiet, hasn't it?
Ugh, you can feel a churning in the forms around you, and then a wet tunneling before you're ejected to a place that's nowhere at all. Ew.
I guess I don't need you to be a part of me. How lucky for you. This place is cold.
She's gone.
Wait. That isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection.
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. So you're the narrator.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I?
You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her.
I need to know what she actually is.
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
Oh my gosh, there's so many questions. Holy heck. Do you know about this? We just stay here together.
Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? She wound up a princess because you wanted her to be a princess. As to why, maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize you like this.
Let's see. How did you die? How did you die?
I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her.
What else? If she's capable, can I will her to something small? Could have told me all this from the start.
As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. You don't work the way a living being does. Not anymore. And as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. No one could be trusted with that knowledge. Intrusive thoughts have a way of creeping in and ruining everything. It's why I had to die.
Okay, you think anyone deserves to live? Do you know that things won't just be worse? Would it like to be lived? And what am
You're
I?
the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
And torture? Do you know that things won't just be worse?
Of course there will be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world, and I did what I could to make it real. Anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
A god.
Yes, you are special, unique even, and you still have a task that you need to do, and only you can do it.
Maybe... Are you one?
No. In life, I was painfully mortal, a witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something, so I made you, and I made her, and I made this place to hold you both.
Rest easy, you're gonna destroy your rest easy. I'm gonna lie? Let's lie.
Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time is up. I'm just an echo, and every echo fades away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there's no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There's nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him.
I'm the Long Quiet.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
need answers.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring. But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There is a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships. And it is our relationships that give us form and substance.
Tricked me.
And yet our conflicting desires liberated us both. And now we are here. So much more than we ever could have imagined. To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence?
That would be torture.
It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped. Your masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there is no reason.
I couldn't understand you then, but I think I understand you now.
You saw with a single pair of eyes what you needed dozens to comprehend. And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are. What is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
My body suffer.
Do you suffer now? Let go of what you think yourself to be and exist.
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only anything like you? Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
Let's see. You showed me your heart to break me.
I am aware of what it did to you, but it is through the pain of vulnerability that we heal. Will you leave all who have been hurt to live unmended?
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
You keep dismissing me. Oops, my bad. Return.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Oh. Where's everyone else?
They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I can do this on my
You can't, and lucky for you, I'm not going to let you try.
own. Oh.
Don't think any of the others have forgotten what you said at the mirror. They all talked, and they're not happy. But we can discuss that later. We have a job to do. Do you need me to describe things?
No.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
I don't know what you want for us.
She sounded just like that. Timid and gentle. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
What's that knife for? Have you changed your mind? Are you going to kill me? What if we just talk for a bit? Maybe we can figure this out.
Let's see. I don't know what other options there are.
Then maybe you don't have to kill me. Maybe there never even has to be an ending. I'm able to do the things you believe me to be able to do. So make me put it all back. Help me fix the Echo's construct and make us both forget. Help me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up, before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
Was it too late to go back to being a god?
It feels like it is. You wouldn't have come here if you were just going to go back.
How do I know you haven't done this before?
Maybe we have done all of this before. Maybe we're supposed to do this forever.
there any other way?
I think you brought that knife down here for a reason. It has to be a part of how this ends. None of that will happen, because you'll still be you, and I'll still be me.
Okay. How do you know?
I know because it doesn't matter how many times we've hurt each other. I've never stopped caring about you. And if you feel the same, then everything is going to be okay.
What would it do to other people?
If you can believe this helps them, then it will help them, right?
I don't want to be alone.
But you won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
We're gonna be back here.
And when we do, we'll make the same choice. We'll choose to forget, and we'll reset everything, again.
I don't want to forget you.
I don't want to forget you either. But unless we do this, you'll have to choose, right now, between me and everyone else.
Well, I can't do that.
I'm sorry, too. So this is what it feels like to actually die. I think this is for the best. I don't know what the world will be like without me. But it can't be that bad if it still has you in it. I've always loved you. Don't forget me.
You blink and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small, melancholic weight that sits at the borders of your heart. Whatever action brought you and the princess into being was rough and jagged and left each of you with a piece of the other. By destroying her once and for all, you also destroyed a part of yourself. But the world hasn't ended. Things continue on.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
A part of her is
Is
with
that
us.
a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
You leave the basement behind. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin
It's
itself.
quiet here.
The path and the woods outside are an empty canvas, but there's even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor, a world free from death. The body of an ancient creature stirs to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not
He's
yield.
gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
All at once, the unyielding tension gives way. And then the shattering. You're free, and before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality, one forged by your will and by a long and arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. There'll be no more bloodshed in this
We
new
didn't
world.
forget what you told us.
You thought we'd be gone. Thought you could taunt us with death.
We never left. We've just been quiet, hiding somewhere else. But we don't need to be quiet any longer. We're the house now. We get to make the rules. And I'm not sure you'll like those new rules.
You should never make assumptions about things you don't know, like whether or not the voices in your head will be gone for good.
Torturer. And to think I thought we could rely on you.
can't even trust ourselves.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Slaying our beloved and threatening us with damnation. There's no good ending for you. You all need to lighten up. Telling us we were going to die was funny. I'm not sure they agree with you. Voices get around. Knives out, boys. It's time to get to work.
What? What do you mean? What was that? I'd never seen that before. What the heck? Oh, what the heck was that? What the heck? So we did see someone new. I'd never met the one with the chains, like the multiple chains. And I'd definitely not seen, I've seen it in someone else's gameplay, but I've never seen like the multiple face, like, you know, mushed princess too. But that was intense. And I'd never seen that ending either, where like all the voices felt like betrayed or something. Man. But I think the big part of this game for me is that, you know, the princess is whoever you want her to be. And you go in and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna make these assumptions about the princess, and then they become true. So it's like, if you want to be afraid, then she'll be a monster. If you want to be like submissive, then she'll be like commanding. Like she'll always be kind of like the pole, the other pole, side of the pole from you. And so it's interesting that you never get to be like her equal. Like you always either have more power or less power than her. And you know, at the beginning they said it's a love story. And I think that that's kind of like what they're trying to explain, is that in a lot of these sort of love stories, that love can look differently for different people and in different sort of relationship setups. And there's definitely ones that feel worse, but they aren't necessarily wrong for the people at the time, because you're only kind of doing what you can at the time that you're deciding what to do, right? Like that feels right to you at that time. And so there is no wrong answer, because the only answer that you're choosing is the one that you want to. So it's like mind-blowing. But I love this game. It was great to do it again and go through and see the different paths. I think the one thing I noticed is that, like, even though I tried so hard to like to be cold or to do things the opposite way that I'm used to, or like the way that I am as a person, it was actually you can only go so far because the game tells you what you can pick. And so I don't know if I ended up trapping myself, because there were some princess vessels that I'd seen already. And I thought that I was trying my best to navigate away from seeing them again. But I guess you can't really run away from yourself in this game. And maybe that's the intention, is that you end up being yourself in the end, no matter what you do. I don't know. I'll have to think about it a little more. But let me know in the comments below, do you have a favorite vessel? Maybe there was something that you saw in my playthrough that you didn't see yet. I'd love to know. And of course, I'll write down below what other vessels I've seen. And I'm gonna keep trying to find new princesses. I know that they exist. I just don't know how to get to them. And I don't want to. Like, if I never find them, then it's fine. You know what I mean? But if you like this, make sure you hit the like it should be right here somewhere. And if you want to see other things that I end up playing that are exclusive to YouTube, I also have a Twitch channel that I play a lot of other indie games on, but sometimes I choose to have a kind of, intimate, only on my own kind of playthrough like Slay the Princess. So if you want to see more of those exclusive things, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time. Enjoy, slay, or love the princess on your own. Okay.